All right, Ramon, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, ABL? I'm actually calling you a little earlier today because I was supposed to moderate a debate on pornography and obscenity laws at 10, but we don't know if it's going to happen.
Uh,
But in any case, I'm probably not going to stick around till the end, and I'm sorry for running up against you in terms of streaming. But I think a lot of the viewers that are on both of my channels will probably still watch yours.
oh, it's
But
all good, man.
um, but please check out the debate later, and you'll probably find the title hilarious, but I'm not going to say it here because it's a family channel. Um, I did want to say that I really liked your review of Black Panther, even though I haven't seen it yet. I was supposed to see it tomorrow, but my nephew's birthday is tomorrow, so I don't know when I'm going to see it. But I appreciate having at least one good, balanced, and non-hysterical uh, viewpoint of it, as opposed to a lot of people that are turning it into some sort of crusade over whether it's a good movie or not.
Right.
Um, and I think I've actually talked to people, especially since obviously 2 years ago with the election, that uh, it's seeming more and more like everything is becoming literally art is becoming politicized. You saw, racing became politicized. Also, good video on the grid girls, and it's really unfortunate because there's a lot of people who, for example, they're huge basketball fans and they love LeBron James, but he's becoming more and more politically vocal, and his politics are really delusional. As much as I respect him, I think he's one of the more intelligent athletes. I don't know what you think about LeBron James, if you want to respond, but he endorsed Hillary Clinton and campaigned and wrote an op-ed for her vocally in Ohio the year he won the election, that the year he won the title,
Yes.
and yet Ohio rejected her by the largest margin in a presidential election since '88. So what do you think about him specifically and Kevin Durant getting active in the political sphere? I mean, they're not idiots, but I know how you feel about celebrities.
To be honest with you, I don't like LeBron. I like him as a basketball player. I think he's probably one of the best basketball players ever. But I don't like him. He comes off just kind of wrong to me. But okay, I'll put it to you like this: it's like some people you can respect though. I respect him a lot for what he does. You know, the charity work, the basketball, all of that's on point. But him personally, I just don't really like too much. Kevin Durant, I thought was better when he was more quiet, reserved, and just did his work. I think that there is probably going to be a better role model for kids to look up to rather than the guy who's not really politically astute to start talking. So I liked him better in the prior role that he had before. So that's kind of what I feel. And I did see that thing with them and Kerry Champion. I watched the whole thing. It was weird. Um, it was just like an anti-Trump thing, an anti-Trump bash fest. But LeBron's been doing that for a while. Not so
Well,
much KD.
yeah, and I think that what so angers me about what LeBron does is that it looks sometimes, especially with that, it's pretty staged
Yeah.
because you know that those two guys, and I know that they're friends, but I don't think that they're riding around in the back of an SUV with Kerry Champion talking about politics. It's just
Oh no.
so I mean maybe I'm wrong, but
No, no,
I'm
you're right
assuming.
because the thing about it, it was sponsored by Uber, so it was a setup. It was a sponsored piece that they did. They got paid to do it.
Okay, yeah, so I didn't even know that part.
Yeah.
And if you want to talk, the one athlete who talks politics and is really, I think he has a brilliant mind that people don't think about, is Richard Sherman, and he isn't somebody who I agree with politically, but he gets caught up, um, he'll be at a press conference and a reporter will ask him a question that is, it's clearly meant to catch Sherman off guard, and his mind is like limber as a tiger. He just responds and he usually destroys the reporter. I think Richard Sherman has like a great career in something else after he's playing football. I think he's a great spokesperson for, and he's into the whole anti-police thing, but he at least is intelligent about it.
I agree
Um,
with you on that for sure. Absolutely.
I did want to talk about the are you talking about the collusion today? Just to
Yeah,
or
the Mueller
yeah.
indictments. Yeah.
So um, a lot of people were joking about it. I was hanging out with some people, and um, what's funny about it is that this is a crime, and these are defendants that the U.S. can't really prosecute to the fullest extent of the law. So these indictments are going to stand as basically an empty gesture that Mueller can use in order to justify the existence of his probe. The same way that often, criminals that abscond to, let's say, Switzerland or Mexico, they can be convicted in absentia. Bail jumpers, Roman Polanski, for example. So, excuse me. I think that this really caps the. I don't know if the Mueller probe is going away, but it just it it epitomizes the whole history of it, because this is a person who is chasing a ghost. We don't Obviously, I think Russia does try to affect American policies, but even countries that we're, so to speak, friends with try to affect U.S. policies. Did you know that the German embassy sponsors pieces, journalistic pieces in Foreign Policy magazine, for example, and other magazines here in the U.S., the Israeli government, the Chinese government. That's part of what foreign governments do here, and we're in a free society. People are free to view those, as they wish, and those Facebook posts on a legal level, they don't have any. They're not different in any way from that. Just the fact that they created a fictitious profile and talked about topics that have nothing to do with Russia. Uh, that does not make it a crime. And if Mueller really wanted to solve some crimes, he'd probably probe the bureau itself. And it's have you seen any of the news about Bruce Orr?
No, I haven't.
So have you heard his name at all?
I have heard his name. Yes.
So Bruce Orr, and I'll leave you after this because I do have to prep for my live stream later. But um, Bruce Orr is the number 4 official in the Department of Justice, and he actually, on his disclosure form for income with his family, he didn't disclose that his wife is a Fusion GPS contributor and employee.
Mm.
So he listed that she makes a certain amount of money, but he didn't list the employee, even though it was explicitly said on the form. And then he also didn't disclose that he himself met with Christopher Steele, who had collaborated with his wife on the composition of this report, which a bunch of people have called the dossier. There's no difference between a dossier and a report. It's just in order to jazz it up. So this is active deception. It's much more deceptive for somebody who is at that powerful position in the Department of Justice to conceal his involvement in creating this piece of intelligence, if you can use that word for it, than it is for some guy somewhere in Russia to create a fake profile and just troll people.
That's right.
So I don't know. I mean, what are you? I didn't get to see yet your video on the Mueller indictments, but what do you think is the future of that probe?
I think it's nothing really. I think they just did that to say they did something. Okay, it's like okay, we're supposed to investigate. We got to return some results. So here you go. We're gonna indict some people that had an ad agency that was pumping out Facebook posts and Twitter stuff. I mean, it was nothing. And then my thing is, okay, if you indicted these 13 people, how are you going to even get them before any kind of jury or anything? Are you gonna extradite them from Russia? Good luck with that. Are they here in the U.S.? What's really going on? So it was just a nothing burger, just something to give people to say, okay, we did something. It's like if you don't do your homework and you just scribble anything down on a sheet of paper and hand it in, so you don't get a total zero. That's kind of what it was.
Yeah, that's basically Lionel Nation, who is a former prosecutor, and he's got like there's a number of channels that I watch when I want to hear more news about the Russia probe, he also said it's really sad for a seasoned attorney, because I think he is an attorney, Robert Mueller, and
Yes, he
he
is.
has a long legal career. It's really sad that this is what he pushes out. Not that, I mean, I don't care about him. I don't care about the FBI, but if this is the type of product that somebody who had this much time to put together puts out, then we're living in kind of a comedy universe now.
Yes, I agree.
So yeah, have a great night. And I guess I'll check out your other video later.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Have a good night.
Same to you.